Hello and welcome to Portsmouth This Week. I'm your host, Conley Zani. This show is under the auspices of Rich Rayner, our Portsmouth Town Administrator. Together, Rich, myself, and the entire Portsmouth This Week team are on a mission to build community. We do that by bringing you accurate and timely information about the issues that impact you. We introduce you to the faces, the characters, the leaders in this magical place in which we live. I'm so honored today to have two guests. I've got David Fiorillo.
Hi.
Welcome, David.
Thank you for having
me. And April Rios.
Hello.
April, you are the Assistant Director of Parks and Rec. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And
for having
David
me.
is the chair of our Parks and Rec Committee.
Yes.
I'm thrilled to have you guys on here because there is so much really cool things happening now with Parks and Rec. So I want to hear all about it. Let's start first by just talking to both of you. I want you to introduce yourself. Tell our viewers, why are you here? April, I know you've had a number of different jobs and you've been with us for about a year and a half. Back up the clock a little and tell us a little about you.
So I actually, I have a background in finance as well as the medical field.
Yeah.
That was pretty much everything in between would be waitressing and stuff. But
Jack of all trades.
Yes.
I was blown away by you when we got to talk yesterday.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks. It's definitely different being in Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
The opportunity had presented itself, and I said, why not do something different?
Yeah.
And I like it.
And you have a connection to Portsmouth, right?
I do, yes. So my father grew up in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
And it's funny to hear when I go home, my uncle say to me all the time, wow, that's cool. Do you know that for a zillion years, from generations that your family did swim lessons at Sandy Point Beach and
now
all the
here you are
history.
doing the same.
Yes,
That's so cool.
Or implementing them now, or putting them in place as far as certain programs that maybe my relatives had taken a long time ago.
That's so awesome.
It's
That's
cool.
wonderful. Well, great.
Mm-hmm.
And David, how about you?
So my wife and I, we moved here about 9 years ago with our kids.
From?
Originally from Johnson. We're both.
Oh, okay.
Both
So Rhode Islanders.
Yeah, both lifelong Rhode Islanders.
Okay.
Myself from Johnson, my wife from Cranston. So we moved here about 9 years ago. Great school system.
What brought you here?
Schools, number one, but just, I don't know, a little quieter life, I guess we'll say.
Right.
I know Johnston's not a big city and Cranston's not, known as a big city, but they
Portsmouth
are.
is magic.
Yeah, Portsmouth is a great place, and we just were looking for a place to settle down, and we came by here and we fell in love.
So glad you're here. All right. So why Parks and Rec? How'd you get involved?
About 6 years ago, there was this committee was formed by one of the council, Daniela Abbott.
Okay.
And
I had no idea.
Yeah.
This is a new committee. That seems new to me.
Relatively new, yeah. And there was a call for volunteers, and my kids were still young at the time, and I said, I'd like to join. I'm a business owner, so I thought, how I can maybe implement my skills as a business owner in this.
Yeah.
We figured I'll give it a try, and we got on, and I became the chair, and I've been the chair ever since.
6 years.
6 years.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Well, that's great. Again, thank you both for
thank you.
everything you've done for Portsmouth. So let me just, David, ask you as chair, since you've been here 6 years, what's on your mind? What's the mission? What are you guys trying to accomplish as you think about Parks and Rec in the context of everything this town's trying to do? And
so I think when we first got formed in 2019, we had to really sit down and look and see what did our department have, and what could we help assist it in, and how can we try to grow it? It was just Wendy.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, was there a Wendy at that time?
It was Wendy. Wendy had I think she just became full-time before we started. And so I've known Wendy since we started.
So she at that time really didn't have any, your committee is support for her, guidance,
yeah, she was
support,
the only one in
input.
the department. Yeah, the only one in the department.
All
So
right.
we had to sit down and come up with our bylaws and really talk to Wendy and say, what direction and what would you like to see happening in this town? Where do you want this department to grow to? And we just sat down and said, all right, well, what can we do that a department of one can handle?
Right.
And so I think our core focus initially was what events can we start to bring into Portsmouth? We have heard from the residents over time that, they have to leave Portsmouth to go to a fair or a music festival
and they're
somewhere.
like, why?
And I think we just kind of took that approach as, okay, well, what can we do to bring things into Portsmouth that, there's always the topic of a rec center, but what can we do in this town that isn't going to cost an arm and a leg?
Yeah.
And I think we focused on events and programming that Wendy can handle. And I think we've done a good job. And since April's come aboard,
well, that's a
the
good
department
sign.
has
We're now a
grown.
department of 2,
Yes.
at
Yes,
least,
yeah.
right?
We're
And I know
growing.
you have other
yes.
part-time staff, right? Like for camps and stuff.
Yes, for the summer,
Yeah,
for the season,
yeah,
we do
yeah.
have lifeguards. We have beach and gate staff, as well as for programs.
Sure. But you and Wendy are kind of the dynamic duo department of 2 at this point.
Yes, and
So-
it's a lot, as far as we do things that bigger departments do as well, and just with the 2 of us, so it's really busy, and for her to do this all by herself for the last 6 years, I'm sure it's great for her to actually get help, and it's interesting to see all of the stuff that actually does go on behind the scenes that people don't realize.
Oh, and we're going to
yeah.
talk all about that. Before we shift there, though, David, is there anything you've, in the past 6 years, has there been a pivot or a shift or just a more leaning in? What have you noticed from 6 years ago to today?
We definitely have encouraged Wendy to book more events. We last year was the first year for the summer music concert series that we've had, and that was a need that we had heard again from the residents, listening to residents, and to say, hey, they want some sort of musical event here. So we worked with Wendy to get that going, and this year will be our second year. As far as programming wise, pickleball is a hot topic, and everyone loves pickleball.
Right.
And
Do you play? Do you guys play?
I've played. I don't play regularly, but
That's just, I've played.
Yes.
I probably need some big
Same.
lessons.
Yeah.
You too?
Same. I tried it a couple times. Yes.
But it is what everybody seems to be wanting to do right
Yeah.
It
now.
is. It's the new thing, like
Yeah.
Dave said.
All right.
and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I think.
No.
Yeah, so really it's our job. We got to figure out places people can play.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think we were able to work with Wendy and get her to. She was doing indoor pickleball at Penfield, which she's still continuously doing in the winter. But we applied for grants last year, and we got a grant, and they were able to stripe 2 tennis courts at the Portsmouth High School to make it 2 pickleball courts. So she's starting programming this spring and summer for
Okay.
outdoor pickleball. So
Oh, wow. That's terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the millions of things that this committee's doing. So that's the thing is I really want to, if people are watching, I think people have no idea all the things. So April, let's turn a little to you. And I'm so glad you brought notes.
Thanks.
We got a lot of things.
Yes, definitely.
To
Definitely a
cover.
lot.
So
Yes.
where do you even want to start? As you think about all the things that you do, what do you want to start with?
It is actually great to have a committee, just to throw that out there, and the support that we get from them. It's kind of a good thing to have a sounding board that they give us information as far as, like Dave said, what can we bring to the town? What have we heard from residents? And kind of bounce ideas.
You got
off
ears
of
to the ground.
The committee.
Yeah.
we do.
Which is great. And it's good networking as far as that goes because, it's all who you reach out to as well. Dave heard this, but then he heard something else that somebody heard. It's all word of mouth and stuff as well.
Yes, big time. They,
so it
they
is.
grab you at Clements, don't they? And they're like, hey, more pickleball.
I get a lot of emails.
Yes. So right now, we actually just wanted to throw that out there about the beach stickers.
Let's talk beach stickers.
yes.
That's clearly hot topic because
is,
we're
it
about
is.
to go to the beach.
Yes.
I mean, if it ever gets over 50 degrees, but
That is true. So our
Crazy.
opening weekend was for Memorial Day weekend this past weekend.
Okay.
And a lot of people we noticed still had the 2024 beach stickers.
Yes.
So if you're a resident, they are free to you. You can visit Town Hall and their opening hours are 8:30 every day.
Where do you go in Town Hall?
You just go into the clerk's office in Town
clerk's
Hall.
office, okay.
Yes. And they are open Monday through Wednesday till 4:30. Thursday they're open until 6:30, and Friday they're open until 2:30.
Okay.
It is free for residents. You just bring your proof of registration and your license. They will give you a free sticker. We are accepting the dump stickers as well. So if you're up to date and current on your dump sticker, we will take that in place of the beach sticker. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All right.
Yes.
So yeah, if you've got a Portsmouth dump sticker, you can. Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yep. As
That
long
makes
as
some
it's current
sense.
and up to date, we will definitely accept that. And if not, we will not be no longer accepting registration or license as a documentation. So you do need your beach sticker if you are a resident.
Oh, so meaning if I go to the beach without my beach sticker, that's too bad for me.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
So
we
no, that's
extended
okay.
our
Listen, I'm fully. I'm not
You
trying
gotta
to push
follow the
back on
rules.
that.
You gotta
And
follow
we
the
did
rules.
extend the deadline. So as of Friday, June 13th will be the last day that you can come in as a resident with the old sticker.
Okay.
So as of June 13th of this year, we will require beach stickers.
Okay. I'm glad we're
Right.
saying that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Gotta get that out.
Let it be said.
Yes. Yes.
Let it be said.
Yes. And
I'm just laughing at people because
Yeah.
they're going to be people mad about that
yes,
later. But
yes.
of course.
I mean, it's free. So I mean,
Yeah.
you
Just come do it. All right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
And then, so as Dave had mentioned, we did do our inaugural summer concert series last year.
Yeah.
And we started, which was exciting. I feel like we had a good turnout at each
we did.
spot. And,
What
this,
kind of music is it? I didn't go. I'm bummed now listening to you guys talk about how great it was. So I'll have to do it this year. But what do we look at?
So last year we did have Country Wild Heart. We did have
Yep.
CC and the Riders as well, which is more, would you say, like a blues kind of
Correct. Yeah.
bands.
And they're back in June.
So are
this year.
people dancing? Are they picnicking? What's the vibe? What do you?
I mean, the few events that I went to all but I think one. I mean, people bring lawn chairs. It's
Okay.
Glen Park, so bring a lawn chair, blankets.
Yeah.
And just
Welcome
hang
to bring
around.
like a picnic as well if you'd like.
Yeah, and so Glen Park. So that's so interesting, right? Because the Glen Manor House is now being run by Russell Morin, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of a new relationship. So is everything all
Well,
seamless
last
with
year
all of
was
that?
more up where the baseball field is, so it's not.
Oh,
close.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's outdoors,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
under the pavilion at Glen Park.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
all right,
at the park
good.
itself. So this year we'll actually start off, we'll kick off the summer on June 19th with CC and the Riders at Sandy Point Beach.
Okay.
So
Switching it up.
yeah, the gate will open
Ooh,
at 5:30.
Switching it up.
Concert starts from 6 to 7:30, and we'll have children's activities with our staff. So the staff will, guide the kids through some activities.
What kind of good children? I'm only asking because
That's
we're
okay.
trying to do a cool kind of block party at Common Fence Point, and
Oh,
we're like,
nice.
what children's activities? So what are you doing?
I mean, we do
Bounce house.
Right. Sometimes we do have bounce houses at these events, but this one we are actually going to have like a circuit of games that the kids can play. We'll have
Ooh.
chalk, so they can do chalk art. We usually do tattoos for the kids as well, which
Okay.
they like that.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's a good way to engage with the children as far as like this way their parents can enjoy some time listening to the
right.
music.
That's kind of
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, and we do have the staff there to look after them as well. And then this specific event, we will have Kona Ice, so you can purchase goodies from them as well
Nice.
at this event.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So it's free?
It is free, yes.
Okay, and you don't need a sticker?
Nope,
Okay.
no
Just
sticker,
curious.
no sticker required.
So anybody
no.
can come. Anybody can come from anywhere.
Anybody can come, yes.
All right, that's awesome. And I know you just told everybody the date and time, but if they forgot, where do they go?
So you can actually go onto the Parks and Recreation website at Portsmouth. ri.gov.
Yep.
And you can just go on the Parks and Rec page there,
Right.
and we'll have information. Usually we post it on Facebook. Portsmouth Times is
Yeah.
usually a big,
Okay.
they put article in there for us. So
Oh,
Yeah.
they're so great.
Yes,
Jim
they
McGaw
are.
and
Yes.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So we
yes,
have our
yes.
own PR section in the paper that
Yeah.
any upcoming events, as far as
Is that one of your roles? Are you handling that?
as far as
Just the liaising with the papers and stuff. I didn't know if that was falling on your shoulders or that's more Wendy's.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
I mean, you know, Wendy and I do our fair share each. I feel like, you know, if she can't get to it, I'll get to it.
Yeah, you divide and
vice
conquer
versa.
every
Yes,
day. It's like one of
exactly.
those situations.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure, for
yeah,
sure.
we had to kind of double Wendy, so we.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And it's a good soundboard too, as far as like having each other to like bounce ideas off of, or kind of she'll like, oh, I've tried that in the past, did or didn't work, so then we won't have to go there again. You know,
Yeah.
so it's good to have someone that's been here for a long time, has the experience, and then
She's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. I've loved working with her.
Good.
Yeah,
That's
for
good.
sure.
That's good.
Sure.
Yeah, we've had a lot, and as Dave had mentioned earlier as well, we got some grants recently through Parks and Recreation. So one of them we had received was Powered by Prince, which is for
Healthy living, right?
Yes,
That's healthy
it is.
living. Oh, the Prince
for-
Foundation.
It is. Yes.
Okay, so what are you doing with that grant?
So
How'd
it's
you get that grant?
well, we applied for the grant, and they had.
But
given it to
that's
us,
hard.
yeah.
It's hard. You must have
It
written a good
is.
grant
Yes.
and aligned with their mission.
Yeah.
That I don't do the grant writing, so I can't take credit for that. But you know, that's a lot of Wendy, and I know some of the committee members, like Catherine Gagliano has helped, Dave has helped Wendy kind of oversee them, and you know, kind of revise certain things with them as well. Before we submit them, we always want some extra
So
sets
do you
of
know what
eyes.
that particular grant's going toward?
Yes, so it's for a Youth Fit program, which they gave us $5,000,
Yeah.
and the town matches the $5,000 to get fitness equipment at Glen Park for a youth program as far as fitness goes, and we will have a certified instructor teach fitness for the youth.
Oh, that's awesome. Through the summer or through the year, or what are you thinking? Or do
Well,
you know?
I mean, as far as we know, we would like to run it all year. Well, as far weather permitting, obviously, because it's outside, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to try to implement that in sometime this summer once the equipment is up and running. And then once that
What
happens.
kind of equipment did you get? This
Just-
is just exciting. I'm such
No,
a
it's
fitness
okay.
nerd.
Oh, I know.
Well, we talked about that
Yes,
yesterday.
yes,
You
yes.
and I are cut
Yes.
from the same cloth on the
Yes.
fitness thing.
Fitness
so
is
do you know
great.
what kind of class? or-
So there is like certain things, I believe. Dave, you had seen the picture, correct?
Yeah, it's hard to describe.
It's like
Yeah,
specialized.
Yeah, it's
It's-
and it's enough where a few people could be training kind of at once. There's different like stations in a way, but it's not
sweet.
not a huge piece, but
It's like a
gonna-
little circuit kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I mean, there's it looks like somewhat of a bench kind of thing,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
like a
Oh, I can't wait to see more about that. That's really
Yes,
exciting.
it is exciting. It'll be even more exciting to implement it. I'm not sure if anybody knows, but Parks and Recreation had also started fitness last year in October.
I wanted to definitely talk about that
Yes.
because that's very, very exciting. And we were just saying that a lot of people don't know that they can go to their municipality for fitness.
Right. And
Right? They're like, oh, I got to go join this big gym and pay all this money.
Exactly. And you know, and the crazy thing is, in being an avid fitness person myself, and you know, looking at specific gyms for certain classes, until I came to work for Parks and Recreation, I would have never have thought to, you know, look at a town or municipality for classes.
Yeah.
And the classes that are offered are just as great. Like I've taken them elsewhere, and it's just like being at a gym setting.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
you have
sometimes they're better because
professionalism.
you've got the perfect person for that perfect thing. And it's not a
Exactly.
person that's doing every fitness class, right?
Right,
It's kind of-
exactly.
that's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I started teaching October of last year, and I love it. You know, I
Yeah,
love
what are the
fitness in
different things
general.
that the department offers? I know there's Zumba.
Yes, so we
Line
do
dancing?
line dancing
That's
as well.
popular.
Yes,
Very
definitely
popular.
popular. We partnered up with Knights of Columbus in Middletown,
Yeah.
which is great because I feel, you know, it's centrally located as far as in Aquinic Island.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's one big community, not
Well,
just
I think that's a
secluded.
lovely initiative too.
Yes.
I know we're Portsmouth, but it's really nice
Yeah.
to see the different municipalities working.
It is.
with
It
one
is
another.
great, and you know, people love it. So, and a lot of people, we have a lot of Newport and Middletown residents that support Portsmouth and come to our classes, and it's great, you know, to see that unity and people.
So
get
is that just
together.
like a walk-in, or what's the deal with paying for that?
So you can walk in, but we prefer if you would register on our civic rec page, which is, you can find that on the Portsmouth website as well.
So same thing that you just described, Parks and Rec, or what's Civic?
Civic Rec is just our operating system our reservation system.
And we can get there through that website?
Yeah, through the Parks and Recreation. Through the portsmouthri.gov website.
Okay, so that's the landing page for it. We go there, and then we can find out about events, and we can also register for a class.
Yes.
All right, in the same spot. Okay.
And pay for it too.
Yes.
And pay for it.
Yes.
That's the key.
Gotta pay for it.
Yes.
Gotta
exactly.
pay for it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But if
For sure.
But there are some free events too.
Yes, there is. We actually, another grant that we had received, as Dave had mentioned earlier, was the pickleball grant, and that's from the Rhode Island Recreation and Parks Association, and their tournament that they have, which is great. So that helped us to pay to line the courts and have outdoor pickleball, and which is great. Like Dave said, it's a hot commodity, and people love it.
So is that something people register to do and pay to do?
Same thing through the Civic Rec.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right.
And
So if I was like, oh, I'd like to have the courts for an hour or 2 hours, no.
So the courts. So technically, if you have a net yourself, you can go play on the courts as long providing it's school. Obviously, they get first initiative, and when school is in session, I don't believe they allow people on the courts. Does that make
during the
sense?
school day,
the
you
school
can't. So once school
okay.
ends, then it is open. And
But you have to bring your own net.
so this year, it's not a permanent pickleball court. They took the 2 tennis courts and just striped it, so it's a dual tennis and pickleball.
Oh, I see.
So the grant was to stripe the court, and then the town bought portable nets and a storage container and some equipment and to go along with it. So I'd say this is like a trial, almost like a trial year this year. It's our first year offering this. So there is open to the public, but then there is scheduled time.
Right. So let's say, this is for me, right? So I'm like you.
Yep.
I've held a pickleball racket. I've had some fun. I've not fallen on my butt yet. I want to do it more. So if I want to take advantage of this, so I go and I go to this website and I say, hey, I want to go Thursday at 6 p.m. Let's say that it's open, right? Let's just say. And then I show up with my own racket.
Yep.
And I pretend there's a net because I don't have the
Yes.
net. Is that
So
what's going on? I'm just trying to clarify.
So yes, as of right now,
yeah.
we do have nets, but those are available for our pickleball league that we will have running.
Oh, okay. So there could be a league that I
yes.
could maybe join.
Yeah, exactly. So there will be a league as of right now. But
Okay.
if you do happen to have your own net, and if you're an avid, pickleball
Okay, well, which
player
I
that
don't.
has
Which
all
I
that,
don't. Like, so I'm just trying to figure out. I'm that person that's like, how do I get into this?
Right.
How
You
does
can-
my town help me get into this?
Yeah, a lot of
Is it
people-
join the league? Is that the message?
Yeah.
It is essentially a
Yes.
league run through the town, through Parks and Recreation. But most avid pickleball players have their own portable net, and they just throw it in their car, and they have their paddles and balls with them. So
Okay.
when there isn't a scheduled time through the Parks and Recreation,
You can just go.
with your own net, set it up,
And stay as long
and
as
play.
you really want
Yeah.
until
Yes.
somebody's like, hey. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yes.
league play takes precedence over just
Sure,
generally.
and that makes all the
Yeah.
sense in the world. Okay.
And-
But the
Sounds like I
important
need to
thing
join the
is
league.
We have it. That's
Yes.
the important
No,
thing.
and that's
Exactly.
great. And
Yeah.
listen, kudos, right? Like we're going down that direction. So I don't need to. Like I'm just trying to figure out how do I do this because
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Good. And we're hoping
Yeah.
in the future, to have its own space just for pickleball only. But
Yeah.
as of right now, we were fortunate enough to get this grant and have the town match. The grant was $2,400, and the town it was approximately $2,400, and the town matched that. So we did that. We're actually going to have a ribbon cutting for that on June 11th at 5:15 p.m.
Oh,
So
how nice.
anybody is welcome to join us. And
Okay.
yeah,
Play pickleball.
exactly.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
Terrific. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
What else? Pickleball, fitness.
Softball. We have a
Softball.
softball recreational league starting up in June.
Okay.
And flag football signups will be open for the people that want to join that now. As far as the youth, get them in now.
So that's more of a youth thing,
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's
not a 54-year-old woman thing. No,
no.
There's not a flag football.
No,
I hurt myself just
that would be
watching that
fun,
play.
but yeah. There's other fitness for us,
Yeah.
Yeah, and we also received a grant from the Aquidneck Island Land Trust merit grant.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes. I'm on that board, actually.
oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
No,
yes.
you're welcome. That's great.
So we did get $1,250, and the town is going to contribute $500 to that, so we can get ADA accessible bench and picnic table for Glen Park to put in place of the new
so
park that's going to
important.
be there.
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this push for ADA accessibility. I love our new playground,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
That
that's
Catering
great.
Yes.
spearheaded.
Can't say enough great things about that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, and just that's so needed, and it feels
Yes.
like that's inspired all of these
Right.
things.
And last year too, they widened the beach ramp
Yep.
at Sandy Point to
Yes.
be ADA compliant, so wheelchairs
Yes.
can go down. They put an ADA compliant
Walkway.
the walkway, but then a decking,
Mm-hmm.
so that if they go down with their wheelchairs, there's a place for them to park their wheelchairs, so they can
Yeah, and
look
truly
at the water.
enjoy.
Yeah.
And we actually do have a wheelchair if,
And they have
if
a
somebody
water-
doesn't have that can go in the
the
water.
water wheelchair, so they can come out
Really?
of their
Yes.
wheelchair and go in the water. So
Yeah.
Awesome.
it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
So we're just
All
going to
right.
continue to work on programs, and any feedback from any residents or in general would be helpful. We are open to feedback.
Oh,
as
I
far
know you
as,
are. That's amazing,
yeah,
right? So
we
how do
take
they get in
everything into
touch with you?
consideration. So you can email us at parks-rec@portsmouthri.gov.
Yeah.
Or you can give me a phone call.
Yeah.
Or my
yeah.
email.
And I know, David, you
Rios.
shared yours too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Well, we just have a couple minutes left, and I have you shared all the detail? I mean, this is a lot of
a
lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot, and for any of the programs, you can, like you said, the landing page of portsmouthri.gov, and just click on Parks and Recreation and visit our website there,
Yeah.
Civic Rec, and you'll be able to see everything that we have upcoming. It would be in Portsmouth Times as well. You can find it there, as
Yeah.
well as on our Facebook page. And if you haven't done so yet, you can like us on Facebook.
Gotta like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
gotta like the page.
Any more
yes.
calls to action, like join the committee? I don't know. What do you think?
We do have an open seat.
Do
right
we?
now. Yeah, we just had a vacancy, so we do have an open seat right now. But yeah, we're always open to, we only get ideas, and we can only bring ideas forward if we don't hear from the residents, and that's where a lot of stuff has come from. We've had residents come to our meetings and say, hey, there's a playground in my neighborhood that's falling apart. Can we
What can we do
something?
about
What can we do?
Yeah.
Or hey, again, music. We'd like to hear more events in the town, and so these are things that we collaborate, and then we bring to Wendy, and we help her implement these with April.
Oh my gosh. It sounds like you love what you're doing.
I
And
do. It is
sounds like
great.
you love
Yes.
what you're doing.
Too.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
do want to thank the people that support us and continue to support Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Without their help, obviously, we wouldn't be running. And
I think it's critical
great.
to
Yeah.
a vibrant
It is.
town and a
Yes.
vibrant community,
Yes.
right?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you both.
Thank you so much. It was really nice meeting you.
Appreciate you both
Thank
being
you
on
so
the
much for
show.
having
I
us.
hope you'll come
Yes.
back.
Yeah.
Keep us
Yes.
posted on all the amazing things
Definitely.
you're doing.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We'll see you next time on Portsmouth This Week.
Hello, I'm Jerry LePage, host of Senior Soundings. I invite you to join us for our next episode of Senior Soundings. We offer information and important, interesting guests So please tune us in. I look forward to seeing you.